Hello, I'm here to review Childish Gambino's new album. Now, for those of you who don't know him as Childish Gambino, you might know him as Troy Barnes of Community. You might know him as the actor and comedian Donald Glover. You might also know him as one of the writers in 30 Rock. So, yeah, this guy's been around in a good way. But before I go on to talk about my idol, I'm gonna talk about about this album. Yes, yeah. Okay, this album mainly tells about like stories from childhood and stuff like that, and like an experiences from camp. That's the name, camp. And it kind of like talks about how it makes him who he is, and in a way, he's kind of like he's happy who he is. Although, even if he wanted to change who he was, he couldn't because look at what it made. I mean, it's kind of like this. Oh, what's the point of changing who I am if I end up being this and I like being this? Although he does write about how he feels in terms of racial identity not being accepted by most of those of his own race. And yes, he's black. So I mean, this is actually pretty interesting. However, overall he also talks about things like from his love life, how his parents feel, how he likes his sour whiskey. But overall it's still pretty interesting. Now, in terms of lyrical play, oh my goodness. You are going to need to get a laptop, go on Google, and literally type in some of the words that he says, because this guy references everything, ranging from Invader Zim characters to a famous French director. So I mean, this guy is he will literally just straight destroy you. So I mean, overall this album is pretty good. However, I'm glad to say that outside of vocals and stuff like that, it's not really big to like one singer, but it's mainly vocals and stuff like that. This is all Donald Glover. No one else, no one not like MC Chris or DC Pierce. This is all Glover. No one else. So overall, that's pretty good. No feature stuff like that. But I mean, just because the album has just one artist, that does not mean that you should not listen to it. That actually makes it a lot better because you actually get to know the artist better. You like who it is, because if there's someone else on your track, it's kind of it's kind of that feeling of having someone else sleep in your bed while you're in that bed. Donald has a whole king size bed, and he's not sharing it with no one in his own right, as he shouldn't. So I mean, overall, this album is really good. If you haven't heard of him until now, you should definitely get it. This album has tracks. It has mainly one track that got its hype, Bonfire. That's the single that's been released prior to it. It also has I can't even say this. That's the only one that was released. It started so much hype. It was on Hot 97, stuff like that. He's on the Rock the Bells tour, so that's even cooler. Even had some concerts. So I'm waiting for him to come over by where I am, stuff like that. So I mean, overall, this is a pretty good album. Off of basically based off of not too much hype. Not too much hype. So I mean, if you're a Gambino fan, you should get it. If you just if you're into those a little bit of indie artists, indie rappers more or less, you should definitely get it. That's always good. And if you're just looking for a different artist, there was actually another the thing is this album released the same week that another overrated artist also released. So it's kind of overrated versus underrated. So I mean, hopefully you picked the wrong side. You didn't pick Fake's album. Didn't take Fake's album, Take Care. No one wants to do that because I'm at camp. So you should definitely do that. I recommend it. I give it a solid 9. No. If you're a fan, 9, because some of his things are a little bit personal. You kind of have to understand it. But mainly an 8 to 9. 8 to 9. That's being fair. Well, rate, comment, subscribe if you would like me to do, any other album and stuff like that. So enjoy that, and holidays are coming up. Happy holidays, and don't worry, I'm like Jehovah's Witness. I will work on a holiday making these videos. So enjoy, guys. Enjoy.